Happy Monday. It's dreary, but it's not cold, so I'll take it. If you saw my live on Saturday, I promised I'd hop on and do the back to the basics, and I totally failed you. So Saturday, we were very much rained out, and so we didn't end up staying all day. Once the race was done, everybody just kind of scattered, but it was an incredible 5K run and vendor event that was raising money for some canine training groups. And so there were lots of really cute dogs. I was wishing that I had taken mine because she would have loved it. And it was really a neat group of people. So had a lot of fun. But today I am here to do the last installment of our Back to the Basics series. So what is the Back to the Basics series? If you have not followed along with us, go find those videos. So you can just search Back to the Basics in the search bar of this group, and you can find them. We are running through the top 10 essential oils and just some key things that you'll want to know about what they are and how you can use them. And so I saved the best for last. Today, we are going to be talking about the king of all oils, frankincense. Also, deep blue, which is a game changer. And you're going to love it. You're going to know why here in a minute. So we'll talk about deep blue. And then the one that is not in the top 10 that I included this week is turmeric. So a lot of us have some just general knowledge of turmeric and curcumin, and we know it's good, and we know that people are talking about it, and so I wanted to add that one. And what's neat about this combination is that we can talk about natural options for pain and inflammation management. And in our world, this is going to be crucial for those who are looking for freedom from synthetic stuff. And so I am so happy with the testimonials that I've gotten back from my own friends who have been able to find freedom in that regard using these essential oils. And so I want that for you. I don't want ever to come across like we're against conventional medicine in any way, but in some ways our sweet doctors' hands are tied. They don't have a ton of options, but you do, because doTERRA is tested, it's pure, it's research-based. You can look these things up, and you can even share them with your doctors. So doTERRA is the only company I found that's in well over 40 hospitals across the nation. So it's catching up into this medical world. Hi, y'all. Welcome, welcome. And so this is something that I want you to know without going too nerdy on you. So we're going to jump right into talking about frankincense and deep blue and turmeric. So frankincense, first of all, I could chatter on about this one for hours. This is by far my favorite essential oil. That's hard to say. Because I love so many of them, but this one has set me free from the biggest stuff. And so that's why I wanted to save it as best for last. Hi, Leah. And so frankincense is unique from the other essential oils because we know that all essential oils are lipid soluble, right? That's the property of them being the oil part of that plant that was extracted. It's the plant's immune system, so it helps protect from predators. It helps that plant heal. Frankincense is unique because not only can it cross the blood barrier and cell walls, so it can circulate through your bloodstream, it can pass through those cell membranes and help in both bacterial and viral scenarios. It can help inside the cell and out, help promote your body's ability to do what it's trying to do naturally, metabolize just like a food, right? Frankincense is unique because not only can it do that, it can also cross the blood-brain brain barrier. Now, even things like chemotherapy cannot do that. So radiation can, chemotherapy cannot. Your brain has a very powerful protective barrier around it because your brain and your spine are so critical to your health and wellness. And so when frankincense is able to cross that barrier, it's able to calm that brain and spine directly and support an inflammation response actually in that nervous system. So what does that mean for you? It means that you need to Google it because there's so many non-compliant things that I would love to say. But frankincense is being researched for some really awesome and really big things and shown very effective. So the thing that I can say that you'll notice when you Google it in less coded language than I'm going to use is that frankincense is able to communicate to your immune system when a cell is misbehaving. So if you have a cell that is not performing the function that it's supposed to, it triggers that natural cell death process called apoptosis, and that allows the rebuilding of new cells that are functioning properly. So even if a CAT scan can't see these cells that are misbehaving, frankincense finds them because your immune system recognizes invaders once that mask, that veil is taken away. And so frankincense is really powerful at helping renew cells by replacing and triggering the cell death process of those ones that are misbehaving. So that has application across the board for your health. So think about it as amazing for skincare, right? So if you have a really wonky mole, sometimes frankincense recognizes that those cells aren't supposed to be there and cleans that up for you. Wrinkles, collagen support. I had a big old pregnancy spot right here that looked, like a birthmark almost. Using frankincense on that diluted on my skin made that go away. And so these are some really amazing things. Stretch marks, helping with scarring. Frankincense is great for helping scarring heal. It's also great for healing in general. So a number of us have had to have surgeries recently just in our little oily community and the families that we know. And when that's the case, get your frankincense out. Circle it right around that scar line. It is going to support that healing process tremendously and help that scarring almost become negligible. And so that's really exciting. And I've had one sweet lady in mind a couple years ago. She had a major, I think it was a knee replacement, and she had her oils ready. She had her little roller, and she just used it, and the doctor was shocked at how quickly she was healing up. I've used it on my dog. So my dogs will get injured sometimes, get scratches. I use frankincense on them because it helps keep it clean and it helps that healing process. So skin is one application. Another application with frankincense is internal inflammation support. And this is where I want to also piggyback and mention deep blue. So deep blue, you're going to smell like a beautiful piece of wintergreen gum. People are going to want to, eat you up. Think of deep blue as your very clean, very non-synthetic icy hot. So it has that kind of a icy hot feel when you put it on topically diluted. This is how it comes in your set. So deep blue comes in that either family essentials kit or home essentials set. We call it the small bottle or large bottle kit that gets you started with your wholesale access and also gets you huge bang for your buck in terms of getting going with your wholesale access and all of your doTERRA goodies. The other option, you can purchase deep blue already pre-diluted. And so this is a favorite for athletes and men, just men in general. They love to just throw this in your bag. If you're going through physical therapy for anything, throw this in your bag. If you're exercising in any way, put this over the muscle group that you're going to be working on that day. It helps oxygenate and prevent that lactic acid response and prevents that soreness. If you're already sore, it works wonders. So this is the one that you want for inflammation and pain management. topically. And then another thing is it's really great for joints. So some of us deal with major joint pain, and if that's the case, you need your Deep Blue because it's going to help soothe that joint pain, sciatica, all that stuff. This is the one that's going to feel good quickly. And so Deep Blue is fantastic. Now, picture what happens when oils have a synergy together, right? They enhance one another if you layer it over frankincense. So if you layer Deep Blue over frankincense, that's going to give you the highest level support right at a location that you're trying to tackle for inflammation response. And so what I do, and that's why I really like the one that comes in the kit, right? I put frankincense and Deep Blue in a little canning jar of coconut oil. So if you've got a half cup of coconut oil, I would start with at least 20 drops of each of these. But if you want it stronger, go at it because you're still going to be heavily diluted in that half cup. And then just go ahead and put it on like a lotion. Hi, Rachel. And so this is going to be your go-to for a targeted pain relief for a muscle group that's giving you issues. So that's number 2 with frankincense, inflammation response, right? And localized topical support of that. Lastly is my favorite, okay? So we mentioned that not only can frankincense identify cells that are misbehaving and help replace those with healthier ones, it can also cross the blood-brain barrier and benefit the nervous system. So that combination makes frankincense something incredible for the chronic inflammation response or the chronic pain issues or those of us with chronic cortisol production because we live high stress or anxious. And so this is going to benefit the nervous system the same way it does joints and muscles. It helps calm things down, identify stuff that needs to go so that those new cells can function well. So what does that mean for me? What it means for me is that if I'm dealing with an acute panic attack or migraine headache, I put frankincense directly under my tongue. So I'll show you exactly how I do it. I don't even put a whole drop anymore. I just kind of get some on my fingertip like that. And I just press it under my tongue. Some of you love to put it on the roof of your mouth. It's not the most awesome taste, but I'm telling you, if you've got a panic attack or a migraine headache going on, it's not bad, and it works. So I grab this, I grab Balance, which was an oil blend we talked about earlier, and I just start to breathe and pray scripture. And that sets me free from that panic part. Migraine headaches too. Now, if you're somebody who deals with something like that chronically, so you've got a real pattern that you're stuck in, I would say start your day every day with a drop or 2 of frankincense under your tongue and watch that cycle break, because there's a reason that this was as valuable as gold in the Middle East. All right, so frankincense is so valuable because of its incredible ability to support the body so well. And so so I want that for you. Know that you can take it internally. It does taste nasty. I'm not going to lie. Another thing, hey, Connie, hi, Kimberly. So just know also that if you do despise the taste, you are more than welcome to put it in a little veggie cap. All right, so putting it in a veggie cap, I would recommend if there's any little airspace, fill it with some olive oil or something, or you might just be, burping it later. And that's just as unpleasant as just going ahead and tasting it. I like to put it in my mouth orally because that's the best way to get it in the bloodstream without it having to pass through all the digestive stuff. Now, if you're targeting digestion, though, put it in that veggie cap and get it into your gut. It's also going to help renew your gut barrier. So frankincense is a win-win across the board, and that's why it's in this set and so incredibly powerful for the cellular support that your body needs on all levels. And so that's why it's my favorite. Can you tell? Can you tell? Not to mention there's so much research you need to Google about some of the things coming out about how incredible frankincense is. So using frankincense daily is something that I would highly recommend. I don't say that often about many of the oils. We do use a lot of them daily, but we use a lot of them in seasons. So frankincense is really, really a game changer. Now, say I told you that this was all about a really good fit for pain and inflammation response, right? So we've talked about copaiba, and remember, if you go ahead and get started with that larger set this month, or even if you're somebody who has your wholesale access and you place an approximate $200 orders, 200 PV, it's a little over 200 because it doesn't quite match up. You will get 2 bottles of copaiba for free. You'll get the oil and you'll get the gel caps, right? So you can get that this month. So this October, you can get $95 retail value because you get a yellow mandarin too with that set. So that's awesome. Copaiba and frankincense and turmeric are the 3 that are going to change your world if you need overall pain management support. So think about it as your option for reducing some of the synthetic stuff in that area. And again, I mentioned oils have a synergy. These all work synergistically together. One of my favorite stories is this woman that I grew up with. She's older, obviously. She's my parents' age, and she adopted foster kids with special needs over time, and she still has them in her home because obviously they age out of the system, but they still have needs. And so she still cares for them. She's had major back surgeries. She's been diagnosed with Parkinson's. She's got all kinds of pain issues going on. She has taken this frankincense and copaiba combination for years in a veggie cap. I was so excited to tell her this month about the turmeric options because I think that's going to amp it up a little bit more. And she's been able to be free of those synthetic things because she takes her little gel cap, she puts 2 drops of frankincense and 2 drops of copaiba with a little bit of olive oil in it every morning with her medication for her Parkinson's. And so I tear up thinking about how wonderful it is that she has something that's going to help her continue to care in a world that's really chaotic for her, even at her age. So turmeric is one that I was really excited to share with her. The turmeric oil came out last year. And again, think about the plant, right? So if you've heard of curcumin, it's in a lot of inflammation blends. You can buy it at pretty much any pharmacy or health food store. But if you research anything about curcumin, the extract of turmeric, it's water soluble, and very difficult for your body to absorb. So you take a certain amount of this, and most of it is just passed through your kidney and straight out your body. That's not going to give your body the inflammation support that the curcumin is studied and hailed for. Now, the oil comes from the same plant, right? But this is the lipid soluble. So this is the part that is super bioavailable. 100% of this is absorbed into your bloodstream and into your cells when you take this internally. But it doesn't have the same amazing overall inflammation response. It has great response. So if you're going to mix up your deep blue and your frankincense, put some turmeric in there and help target those local things topically. That's when you want the turmeric oil. You can also add them to your veggie cap with the copaiba and the frankincense. Again, a safe level for adults. So this is if you're like maxed out and you feel like your pain level's through the roof. Give 2 drops of each every 2 to 4 hours a try and see how you feel that day. So turmeric, copaiba, and frankincense in a veggie cap. No more than 2 drops to start, okay? We don't want to overdo it. But you also have another option, and I wanted to show you this because this was just newly released this month, and they're so cool looking. So doTERRA had this genius plan. So the curcumin's not very absorbable. The oil is super bioavailable. They both come from the same plant. Why don't we put the plant back together? Genius, right? Putting the turmeric oil back with that powdery curcumin has increased the curcumin's absorption ability, its bioavailability, by 11 times. So if you're taking a curcumin supplement and not noticing a difference, you need to try this one. And it's very reasonably priced. Gosh, I don't want to guess now. It's in the $30 to $40 range wholesale. And this gives you the 60 caps if you took 2 a day, right? So this is already prepackaged. You don't have to drip into a veggie cap. You're going to love it. And this is something that I just can't wait to hear how my one friend in particular loves it, but also you guys. So please tell me how this turmeric works, because the testimonies from outside our first degree, our circle, are incredible. And I just can't wait until that trickles into our group too, as you guys give this a try for inflammation and cellular support, right? So those are our 3 back to the basics today. My hope for you is that you snag these top 10 oils, especially this month, since you can get that Copaiba for free, and that you also start adventuring into some of the others now that you've got your wholesale access. You get all kinds of goodies from us as you're getting started, and what I'm excited about is in these next couple weeks, we're going to be talking about the holiday items that are going to be released November 1st, and you'll have to watch out for those because doTERRA is notorious for a lot of those limited time options selling out within the first 2 days. So if it's a holiday item with doTERRA people snag them, snatch them up sometimes those first hours. Luckily, we're on the East Coast, so we're like ahead of the mountain time people by 2 hours. So we usually get a break if you go ahead and place your order that morning, the 1st. But I do want you guys to know what those are, and so we will talk about those coming up. We will continue to educate on both the basics and the new ones. Leah says she's currently testing the turmeric for chronic back pain. Started yesterday. Yes, Leah, please keep me posted. The turmeric is working great for EJ. Oh, Connie said. That's your fiance, right? And so I am so glad to hear that because we don't give natural options enough credit for the ability that they have to support our health and wellness naturally. And so I'm really excited to continue sharing those things with you. I'd also love to hear what are some other things that you'd like to see in our education, because I'm more than happy to throw those in there. I thought maybe we could do some make and takes together live too, which would be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for checking out our Back to the Basics series, and go back through them because I by no means covered all the stuff that these oils are great for. Once you're part of our wholesale access, make sure you snag the Droply free download link that I give you. That's like having your textbook on the phone. And then all you have to do is type in your lavender and it'll show you the 50 bajillion things you can do with lavender. So that's another great resource to have on hand, and you can snag that free from me as soon as you have your wholesale access with us. We love our education. I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoy your wonderful fall day. And thanks again for hopping on with us. Bye, y'all.